You didn't get here out of curiosity. You got here because something inside you no longer settles just by trying harder. You tried a lot. You tried to understand. You tried to improve. You tried to mature. You tried to be stronger than you actually felt. And for a long time, that worked, or at least it seemed to. But now, something has shifted. It wasn't a big event. It wasn't a visible crisis. It was a slow erosion, quiet, almost polite. A kind of wear that doesn't draw attention but never really leaves. You keep waking up. You keep working. You keep solving problems, you keep meeting expectations, but there's a constant feeling that you're living slightly disconnected from yourself, like you're always one step behind your own life, like you're forever getting ready for a moment that never arrives. You live with the sense that real life starts later, after things settle down, after you understand yourself better, after you make the right choice, after you stop messing up. And while that later doesn't come, you keep pushing the days forward, not because you want to, but because you learned that stopping is dangerous. Sunday nights tend to expose this with quiet cruelty. The day is calm, the house is in order, but inside you, there's a subtle tightness. You try to watch something, you can't focus. You grab your phone, put it down, stand up, sit back down. Nothing is wrong. And still, nothing feels peaceful. You feel like you should be enjoying it, and you feel guilty for not being able to. On Monday, the alarm goes off. You get up without drama. No tears, no delay, but getting up already costs emotional energy. You feel like you need to be ready, not just awake, ready to respond, ready to produce, ready to handle things, ready not to disappoint. And this repeats every day. When you look back, you see effort, a lot of effort. You weren't careless with your life. You tried. You tried to study. You tried to work properly. You tried to choose responsibly. You tried not to repeat patterns that hurt you. You tried to be better than you could be at the time. So why does this feeling of being behind refuse to go away? You don't feel incapable. You feel out of place, as if you're living a life that demands too much and gives too little back. It shows up in small, almost silly moments. You open social media and see someone celebrating something. You close it quickly. It's not open jealousy. It's a dry thought. I'm trying too. In conversations, you participate, but you feel like you're always adapting, always adjusting, always reshaping yourself. When someone compliments you, you say, "Thank you," but your mind jumps immediately to what's still missing. The compliment comes in, but it doesn't take root. Rest has become something you negotiate with yourself. You explain it, you justify it, you promise to make up for it later. Rest without guilt feels like a distant luxury. And this isn't because you're weak. It's because you learned that value has to be proven. At some point in your story, you understood that you needed to be useful to be accepted, that you needed to be strong to not be a burden, that you needed to try harder to deserve space. Maybe no one ever said this out loud, but you felt it. You felt it when mistakes felt dangerous, when rest looked like laziness, when sensitivity felt like too much. Without realizing it, you became your own supervisor, your own pressure, your own demand, and that inner voice is never satisfied. There's always something to improve, something to fix, something to compensate for. Even when something works out, the relief is short-lived. Soon there's another goal, another demand, another weight, and this kind of tiredness isn't fixed by sleep. There's a conflict happening inside you, an old one, but now louder. One part of you believes that stopping now would waste everything you've invested. Time, energy, history. Another part is exhausted. It doesn't want to disappear. It just wants to stop pushing. These two parts argue in silence, and you live trying to please both. You keep going, even tired, even confused, even sensing that something no longer fits. Maybe it's hard to admit, but on some level, you live to avoid disappointing. Maybe your parents, maybe someone who believed in you, maybe an older version of yourself that had to make it work. Maybe you stay where you are because leaving feels like admitting you chose wrong, and admitting that hurts. It hurts because it questions the past. It hurts because it threatens the identity you built. It hurts because it forces you to look at something you avoided for a long time. So you stay and you push. Imagine someone pushing a heavy door, body leaning forward, feet firm on the ground, hands already aching. She pushes, stops, breathes, pushes again. She doesn't question the door. She questions herself. She thinks she needs to be stronger, more prepared, more discipline. She blames herself for being tired, compares herself to those who seem to open doors effortlessly, feels ashamed for even thinking about stopping, until there comes a point when her body no longer responds, not by choice, by limit. She stops. And in that forced silence, she realizes something simple. The door doesn't open outward. It never did. All the effort was real. The pain was real. The persistence was real, but the direction wasn't. Many people spend their entire lives pushing the wrong doors, not because they're weak, but because they learned that persistence is a virtue. You push productivity hoping to earn rest. You push perfection hoping to earn love. You push approval hoping to earn worth. And the more you push, the farther everything feels. The problem was never a lack of strength. It was a lack of listening. At some point, persistence stops being courage and becomes fear of stopping, because stopping requires an uncomfortable question. What if I'm living to sustain something that no longer represents me? That question shakes identity, history, everything you did to get here. But there's something almost no one says. Changing direction doesn't erase the path you walk. It simply acknowledges that you changed. Maybe you're not lost. Maybe you're in revision. Revisions are long, quiet, uncomfortable. They don't come with applause. They don't come with guarantees, but they come with truth. You don't need a new plan right now, or a big decision, or cinematic courage. Maybe the next step is smaller and more honest. Maybe it's stopping comparison for a while. Maybe it's reducing external noise. Maybe it's saying no to something you accept automatically. Maybe it's resting without explaining yourself. Not to change who you are, but to discover who you are when you're no longer pushing. Today, maybe all you need to do is stop for a moment and look at the door. No force, no guilt, just presence. That small gesture doesn't solve life, but it changes direction. And sometimes changing direction is everything.